Yali Madad. So we have received a question about Nandi and the difference between Nandi and Mehmani and Awal Sufra. Why do we do it? What's the difference? At home, when we take out the food, it is Nandi. When we reach to Jamaat Khana, it becomes Mehmani. So what is all this about?
Okay. So thank you, Kamala Sahib, for asking. We already know what Nandi is and the background of the Nandi. Why Nandi started, how it started, and the tradition of the Nandi in our tariqa. We already know that. So we're not going to go into this. But let's, so when you are cooking your food and you have the niyat of taking that food to Jamaat Khana, you may call it a Nandi, that I'm taking Nandi to Jamaat Khana. But remember, anything you take to Jamaat Khana, not only the food, the money, your time, your thoughts, your seva, is all Mehmani in Imam's huzur. You are presenting him with something. It's just the way we look at it. So, to Nandi, to you, it may be just a food that you cooked and said, I'm going to take this to Jamaat Khana. But what you are really doing, you are taking a Mehmani for the Imam. So what am I saying? It's the other way around. You're always taking Mehmani to Jamaat Khana, which becomes a Nandi. So Nandi, Mehmani, and Awal Sufra. So let's talk about those three now, in their sequence. So Nandi, we notice that initial Nandi is called Mehmani, or Dudh fruit Mehmani. And in this case, when this Nandi or the Mehmani, the initial Nandi starts, and whoever says, okay, I wanted to present a Mehmani to the Imam. Did he bring that food or the milk from the home? No, he didn't. So what became important in this aspect? The niyat. He said, my niyat is to present a Mehmani to the Imam. Somebody else brought that milk. Somebody else brought that fruit. Somebody else brought whatever food they had cooked at home. So, intention, the niyat is the key. Now I'm going to go back to again. Oh, आज बहुत सारा खाना बन गया है. And because we have so much food, let's take some for Jamaat Khana. That is not a Mehmani. Because you have too much food, so you want to take some for Jamaat Khana. And that was the reason that when I started, I said, while we are cooking, in our mind, our niyat is that out of this food, I'm going to take something for Nandi. Intention is the key. कोई अमल नहीं है नियत के बगैर. Niyat is important. The person who is asking for Mehmani, he did not bring the food, but his niyat was to present a Mehmani to the Imam. So he has that chance. Not only him, the first guy, you can do that again and again during the Nandi. You see that a lot of people will say, okay, I'll take this Nandi, and then they will say Mehmani. It's the niyat that they are presenting to the Imam on that particular. And that just happens, I guess. In your heart you feel, oh, I wanted to present a Mehmani to Mullah. And you do it. You didn't have to go home, you didn't have to cook, you didn't have to do anything. Just having the niyat. Let's say that I have a niyat, but I only have $10 in my pocket. And then my money goes to 11, 12, 14, $20, whatever. I didn't even have to put any money. My niyat was important and was accepted by the Imam, because the Imam does not need your $10. It was the niyat that he was looking for. It is the niyat. So Nandi ke andar niyat, Mehmani ke andar niyat. If you are going for Mehmani, if you get it or you didn't get it, it doesn't matter. Niyat. ओके, आ जाए आप अव्वल सुफ्रा पर. The amazing part between the Nandi and Awal Sufro or the Mehmani is, in Nandi, when you give the money, you are getting something in return. In Mehmani and Awal Sufro, you don't get anything back in return. It's just your niyat, and you give some money in return of the niyat. Since I was not able to cook and bring you anything, Malapa, I wanted to have a niyat of this. Awal Sufro. What's the difference between Mehmani and Awal Sufro now? They both have the same action and reaction. You go for it, you say, okay, I'm going to take this Mehmani and present to Malapa. Mehmani is more individual, Awal Sufro is more collective. How is that? Think of the Mehmani. When Mehmani is happening, nobody knows what you're doing. You do your Mehmani, you give the money, and you go. In Awal Sufro, when you go for Awal Sufro, and if you take the Awal Sufro, what does Mukhi Sahib says? The Awal Sufro is for the sawab of the entire Jamaat. So what you're saying, Mulapa, I want to present a Mehmani to you on the behalf of my Jamaat today. Whoever is present in this Jamaat today, I want to present a Mehmani to you on the behalf of the Jamaat, entire Jamaat. How big of a heart do you have to do that? You know, sometimes, for whatever reason, we think, oh, ye bahut showbazi karta hai. He just wanted to show that he has money. Let's think the other way around. You may have money. How many times have you done it? Right? How many times have you done it? Can you come up with 1,000, 10,000, or $150,000 to present a Mehmani to the Imam on behalf of the entire Jamaat? No, that takes a lot of heart. It requires not the money, but the love and the heart that you would do that. So how and what kind of thought process we should have when we see someone taking the Awal Sufra? Look at that person with a gratitude, with a thanks, that you have done something for me. I have never done anything for you. But today, you presented a Mehmani to my Mullah for me. And then feel that happiness in your heart. Then Mehmani, that Awal Sufra that he just did, it would be yours. Remember, in our tariqah, intellect has a huge role to play. You know how we say it in a worldly manner, work smart, not harder. Intellect. Our intellect plays a huge role in our tariqah, in our daily rites and ritual, and even on our daily lives. We apply our religion to our daily life, and then you see how your life changes. You know, Mullah emphasizes again and again to have an ethic of Islam. If you apply that on your daily life, and that is exactly what Mullah was saying, when you are in Jamasana, because you have practiced those ethics, that's how you will be thinking instead of the other way, oh, ye to bahut showbazi karta hai. Your way of thinking will change completely. The way you look at people in Jamaatana, your brother and sister, your family, everything will change. And your thoughts will always be on the positive side of it instead of on the negative side of it. So I think that answers your question about Mehmani.
Briefly share about the history too, because some of us may not know why Nandi.
About the Nandi? So, Nandi is one of the tradition of Prophet Muhammad. At the time of initial stages, when Muhammad will come and he will reveal the ayat or the messages of Allah, people will gather and they will sit there for hours and upon hours. And then somebody thought about it. How about we bring some food? Because just like, look at it over here, right? How about we have some food? So if it takes us 2, 3, 4 hours, then we will have some food. So somebody would bring a fruit and said, Ya Huzur, I have brought some fruit for you because I see you sitting over here all day long preaching. We have a choice. After an hour or so, if I want to go to work, I will get up and go. But you are sitting there hours upon hours preaching. So I have brought some fruit for you. Initially, it started just for the Huzur himself. But then, what happened? Second person saw it, so he brought it. Third person saw it, so he brought it. Now he has like 3 trays of fruit. Or whatever food they were bringing. So he said, how about we all share? Initially, he started bringing those Nandi, or the offering at that time, or the Mehmani to the Huzur, and they will share it. And then the wars and all those even started in Islam. So Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, how about some of you people who are rich, when this offering comes, we will do the Nandi, and whoever takes this Nandi and take it home, it will be blessed, food for them. So he will bless the food and Nandi will happen. And the money and the food will go in 2 different ways. Initially, the food that is taken by those people, whoever has taken it, they will share with the audience or the poor people. And some of them will take home, or the part of it they will take it home. So they were doing 3 things: sharing with the Jamaat, offering poor outside, and taking it home. This tradition is continued all the way to today. In some of the smaller Jamaatana, I'm sure in the small Jamaatana like Memphis, they will take the Nandi and they all will sit and eat. Or in places like Boston and Austin even, where there are colleges and you see a lot of school children there, people will take the Nandi and give to the students. In Karachi, Pakistan, or Mumbai, or in our old countries, you will see a lot of people taking Nandi and giving to the poor. And then again, sometime we take that home. If we have not cooked today, or for whatever reason we need, then we will take it home. All these 3 traditions that started in the time of Prophet Muhammad has continued today. And we are the only Jamaat that I know of, except Bori Jamaat, they also have a Nandi, that have kept their tradition of Prophet Muhammad all the way today in the same shape and form, the way it was intended and the way it was started. So, that's good enough.
Can I ask a quick question about the Mehmani?
Ji.
So, I know one way is to take Nandi, the other way, like if you're just,
Say Mehmani.
you can do it without taking the food. But I've also heard something like giving money while you're doing the dua. Like,
for Mehmani?
Can you?
Yes. All right. So, there are 2 or 3 different ways you can offer Mehmani. We have Pyala, that we are offering Mehmani in. But also, you can give to Mukhi Sahib and say Mehmani. And Mukhi Sahib will give you same dua as when you do the Mehmani of the fruit and doodh, or even during the Nandi. He will give you those blessings. Remember, it is the niyat that counts. Your niyat is to present Imam of the time a Mehmani, and Mehmani could be in shape of the food or the money or even time and knowledge. So any kind of niyat. What is your niyat? So this is something that just for our learning, why I keep emphasizing on the niyat. So someone was telling me that while he was pulling the money, he gave to Mukhi Sahib, and when Mukhi Sahib put it in Piala, he realized it was not a dollar bill, but it was $100 bill. And he said, okay, so what do I do now? You know, because my niyat was only $1. So I can do two things. I can ask Mukhi Sahib, sorry, I made a mistake, can I get my $100 back? Let me give you $1. Or, but he has a nice way of saying, he said, maybe I had forgotten some of the Mehmani, and Mola is so graceful that he said, okay, you have forgotten, but I have not. So let me go ahead and take that $100 from you and accept that as a Mehmani for you. So it is, sometimes we do small things, and sometimes things happen to us automatically. And I think we all have gone through some of those. Sometimes we say, how did that happen? Remember, it is not you. It is the Imam behind you. His hand is on your shoulder. He's walking with you. He's working with you. So whatever shortcomings we have, He will help you fulfill those shortcomings. And if we keep our heart open and our mind open, then He can work with you much, much faster. But when we close our hearts, our mind, and we become like a narrow-minded, just one way of thinking people, then it is your free will. He will not push you into it. He will not. He will let you do whatever you want to do. Ji.
So coming back to your question, you have seen that during Tasbih, at the end of the Tasbih, people will get up and put Mehmani.
Right.
The reason is that, remember the term Giryazari? Giryazari has a lot of power. We don't even realize how powerful it is. In Giryazari, the word Girya means to shed tears. Zari, like, you're with lot of intensity, exactly. You shed tears, and the intention is to connect to Mawla. When the Jamaat is standing up and doing tasbih, and it's the Giryazari ji tasbih. Okay, the Jamaat is praying and trying to connect to Mawla, and all those du'as are being asked from Mawla. And at that time you put money. So people have forgotten why was it done. We just hear, put money at that time, you'll be blessed. Your mushkil will be asan quickly. But the reason was that the whole Jamaat is currently praying. So you are asking Mawla Bapa that, Mawla Bapa, whatever mushkil I have, on the behalf of the prayers of the Jamaat, please help me. Solve this difficulty, ease this difficulty for me. And then you put Mehmani. So do you understand? It's trying to connect to the prayers of others. I as individual is too small to pray for even me. My difficulties are like monsters. They are very big. Mawla, I need help from the whole Jamaat. On the behalf of this Jamaat, Mawla Bapa, have mercy on me. So all this is part of Giryazari. The bottom line is that our intention matters, not how and when do we do it. But yes, there is no denying of the power of the Giryazari and the prayers. The more you do collective ibadat, the better it is. Individually, we may not be able to get where we want to reach, but when we study in group, when we pray in group, when we do tasbihat in group, I'm so sinful, but people here are so great and so innocent and so connected to Mawla. On their behalf of their tasbihat, I will be raised up. I'll be elevated too.
So the bowl is always for the Mehmani, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So whenever you do it, it's up to you. It's all your intention. Whatever feels right. It's not sometimes we get so hooked up to the rites and ritual. This is how I should be doing this. It's not about the action. It's about the intentions and your thoughts. Whenever you feel connected, that's the time. Do it.
So some of you may not remember, in our old tradition, during the tasbih, people will walk up to the part and put money in the pyala,
That's exactly
in the Mehmani pyala. But these days we don't see that anymore. But if you go back into our old countries, and back home, you still may see that. People coming to the part and putting
See
money in
you
it.
too sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
People over here does it? Subhanallah.
Actually, maybe when I ask you this question, maybe I did not ask you the complete thing. So, like the thing was, okay, Mehmani is always is important. Now, then I ask you, okay, is it not to take the Nandi when somebody visits? Is that as important as it is Mehmani? Plus, you said, okay, if some people they take the Nandi and they give it to the poor, less fortunate, or to the students. Now, this someone asked me some years back that if you take Nandi and you are not a smile somebody and you are giving to somebody who's not, but he's also poor, poor person. So is it okay if you give it to him? So I mean, I didn't know how to answer. Of course, I say, okay, if you're helping somebody, somebody is poor, somebody, okay, go ahead, why not?
Yeah.
But then, okay, what's the correct answer?
So, in our last visit to Karachi, somebody had asked the same question. You know, back home we have a Masi that works home, and most of the time they are either Christian or Hindu. They're working in our homes. Forget about Muslim or Ismaili. So, my question to them was, when you're bringing the Nandi home, and let's say you are not able to finish it, do you rather throw it out in the trash or give to someone who can eat? Very simple. Why would you want to? Because you are not able to finish it. The reason you are giving that Nandi to somebody outside is because you are not able to finish it. So you have two choices. You can throw it out or you can let somebody eat it. So that's one. Second, what about if you're just coming out of the Jamaatana and you find someone who needs food? That is part of your good deeds, to give food to someone who's hungry and needy. That's it. I mean, that's part of your good deed. And your niyat is what? To help the needy person. It's very simple. You know, remember in our tariqah, there is no hocus pocus. Everything sits on logical, aspect, logical answer. So if you think about it, then it's not a problem. Time of Prophet Muhammad, what were they doing? Everyone, they were inside the masjid while he was preaching. They will take the Nandi and give to the poor outside. You think those people who were standing outside, they would not be standing outside if they were part of the Islam, part of the tariqah at that time. They would be inside. But they were standing outside. Look at the story of Maryam. She was inside the heckle, but every morning when she would receive the food, she will take the food, her own food. First she will walk outside the heckle and see if there was any needy person who needed that food more than her, and she will give to them. That is our tradition, and tradition of the prophets and awliya and ambiyas, to give food to the poor, regardless of who they are, what they are. It doesn't matter. Ji.
I'll give a practical example. That today we go in Jamaat Khana, then they put 5, 6 plates, alag food hai, and sometimes there are mithai in there. Alright? So you don't even know that what's inside, even though the person says कि इसके अंदर ये है, but then to him it looks like a regular dish, but it's actually a mithai in there, but he cannot see it, alright? So now you got it at home, and you are a diabetic. You just can't eat mithai. You cannot take the food back to Jamaat Khana and say, hey, listen, I don't eat it. Jamaat Khana is closed now, alright? And you live 2 hours away from Jamaat Khana, for example, practical reasons, alright? What do you do then with that particular mithai? You are diabetic, so are you forced to eat that mithai to kill yourself, or rather just eat just a little bite maybe to accept it as your food given to you by Mola, and then give it to anybody who is closer to you and let them eat, because practically you just can't eat the mithai and kill yourself, so practically you give it out outside.
I would like to share a story actually, and I'm sure all of you must know it, but just there's a relationship here with what we are talking about. That Moses, when he used to go to Mount Sinai to talk to Allah, one day he was passing on that route and he sees this shepherd who is taking care of his sheep. And one of the sheep, he's kind of combing his hair and talking to him. And he's saying, if you were to be Allah, I would comb your hair like that. If you were to be Allah, I would wash your feet like that. I would care for you like this and that. And Moses says, are you crazy? Where Allah and where is the sheep? There's no comparison. How can you relate Allah to this sheep? Are you mad? Don't do that. Stop. Don't do that. And he gets scared because Prophet is saying, so he just stops. Anyways, when the Prophet reaches to the mountain and he says, Allah, I'm here to talk to you, And Allah says, today I'm not talking to you. And he's like, why? What did I do? Why are you ignoring me? Why aren't you talking to me? And he says that there was only one man who would talk to me with such love, with such devotion, that Allah says, I long to hear from him. And you stopped him today. And the Prophet is surprised that Allah liked his giryazari, his way of talking, the way he did. The moral of this story is that it's the intention. If my intention for Nandi is, let me take this so I can share with my colleagues, we have a problem. You cannot call somebody's action seeing superficially as negative or undermine their feelings. It was his way of connecting to Allah. And Allah loved it. So how can we be judge of anybody and anybody's actions? It depends on your heart, how you do things. It's not the right, it's not how you do it, it's what you're thinking. People who look at you superficially, they may judge you left and right, but they do not know what's going in your heart. Remember, that's why there's a Ginan ka part, Mola jane chit ki chori. He knows every hidden thought of yours. So what matters are it's your thoughts, not your actions as per se.
So let's come to the second question.